Hello everyone, welcome to our timeless oracle reading. Our oracle card for today belongs to the Shamanic Healing Oracle by Motuzas, and the card for today is entitled Forgiveness. When we look at the card, we see here the sun and the moon. It's like as if when you look at the moon, it's like a window. It's like a window and you can see the moon. And there is a quilt here that shows the sun. And then there's this water here. When you look at it, this is like us in our exterior world. We have a lot of questions. We have a lot of whys. Why did this happen? Why is it like that? And then sometimes we ask, I do not deserve this. Why did this happen to me? So something like that. And we get angry also. We ask why such things happen to us, why such things some people do to us, something like that. So somehow there's always that mystery of the why. But then here we see water. And I think the water is that barrier that separates our exterior world to our inner world. Within ourselves, we need to cross that through our solitude and silence. And so we enter our emotions until we find the stillness that is within. So it's like from the outside part of the house, we go within ourselves. We are the house. This is the window. The window is the portal that allows us to enter within ourselves. So it's like us entering the window, and the water is like the glass in which we are able to enter towards our inner self. Within ourselves, there is the sun, the divine, and also the answer to the questions. So if there are a lot of questions of the moon outside, when we go deeper, we cross that emotions, that turmoil that is outside until we are able to journey within ourselves, then everything becomes bright and clear. We learn to understand the reason behind. Now, within this turmoil of the water is the process towards forgiveness. Unless we are able to forgive, the situation or the experience that we have will not be as clear as it will be after we have learned to forgive. So this is the barrier, that barrier of emotions, which is symbolized by the water. It is within this barrier that the process of forgiving is very important. If we are able to forgive, then we will be able to cross that barrier and things will sooner or later be clear. So this is just one interpretation of the picture here. And as it is said in the handbook, forgiveness is the best gift that we can give to ourselves. You notice if somebody has hurt us and we are not able to forgive them, that person who has hurt us is already going on with their lives, and we who have not yet forgiven are still in turmoil. And it's quite unfair. While other people are already going on with their lives, we who have been hurt and we who are still unable to forgive for the hurt still suffer. When we are able to forgive, then we free ourselves from the pain. We free ourselves also from the situation. And when we forgive others, we also are forgiving ourselves. Because oftentimes we also somehow blame ourselves for the situation that has happened. Like, why did I trust that person? Why did I not protect myself from that person? Why did I make that wrong choice of trusting that person? So there are a lot of questions, and in a certain sense, we also blame ourselves for the situation. Because we also took part for that situation to happen. So when we learn to forgive the person and try to accept the situation as something that you cannot change anymore. You just accept it as part of your life history, and you try to see what can I learn from it. When we start to do that, that way, then we are also able to forgive ourselves, and we are able to look at it as something positive. We can always tell ourselves, there is a lesson here that can enrich me. And when you learn to forgive, then you will be more open to that lesson, to that enlightenment that is hidden within. So there is a need for us to forgive. When we forgive, we set ourselves free. When we forgive, we also forgive ourselves. Now, it is a process. It's not an easy way. It's not easy to go from our exterior world, where there are a lot of questions, going into the inner world to be enlightened. There will be a lot of currents that we need to overcome. The currents of emotions, the memories, and everything. But we need to free ourselves of those memories, especially those painful ones, in order for us to slowly enter to that stillness that is within, that stillness that awaits us. And to be able to do that, we sooner or later realize that we need to undergo the process of forgiveness. It is not easy to do it on our own. It's a long process, but we can always be open to ask the divine, to ask the spirit to slowly change us towards forgiveness, to ask the divine to free us from the clutches of anger, the clutches of hurt, so that we can go into that embrace of that stillness that is within as we learn to forgive. Now let's try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card so that we can gain more insight regarding forgiveness. It has been said, forgiveness is the greatest gift we can gift ourselves, or we can give ourselves. Forgiveness of others, but also forgiveness of self. We are the most critical and judgmental of ourselves. This inner critic does so much more harm than criticism that comes from others. Forgive yourself for trusting others and getting hurt, for not knowing, for not seeing, for not believing. You are human, and you are growing and learning. Human perfection is rooted in imperfection. This card indicates the need for forgiveness in the situation asked about. So, this is what we have for you today. I hope you were able to benefit from our timeless oracle reading. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.